Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I want to thank you for the likes, subscriptions, and comments. Greatly appreciate it. It's a day before the tournament season starts for me. BFL start tomorrow. So what I tend to do the day before the tournament season starts is I go through the boat and clean up all the live wells, clean the boat up, get it ready for the year. Check all my pumps, make sure everything's working like it's supposed to. I just put a new switch panel in the boat. The other one went bad on me, so I had to put a new switch panel in it, and just want to make sure everything's working like it should. So that's what we're doing today. Tomorrow starts the fun. We got a meeting tonight, and just want to make sure everything's working right, so I don't have any issues on the water. Preventive maintenance will keep you fishing and keep you from working on the boat while you're out on the water. So here we go. I scrub down the live wells real good. I don't use soap, but I will scrub them down real good. Wipe down the edge so I don't get no contaminants in there. All that good stuff. Spend the winter crappie fishing, and I crappie fish on Barkley a lot, so the lake's kind of dirty sometimes. It ends up getting your live wells looking pretty bad, kind of like that one. Yeah, got some work to do there. I'm gonna clean it up, and I'll get back with you. All right, as you can see, I cleaned up pretty well. Now I'm going to fill the live wells up and test the pumps. Make sure everything's working like it should. Check the timer on it and all that. I do use a timer throughout the winter. In early spring, once that water temp gets up there in the 60s, then I normally run it constant all day. I don't know if it's really needed, but can't have too much oxygen. That's the kind of way I look at it. But anyway, we'll fill these up and make sure everything's working right. Here's a tip for you whenever you're doing this. Make sure you pay attention to the screens. I just hit my screen with a high pressure hose and look what all blew out. Hopefully you can see all that. A lot of junk builds up in the screens as you run your pumps throughout the year, so make sure you clean out your screens really well before you do anything else. Alright, well, while the live wells are filling up, talk about some of the other stuff I do. I go through all my baits that I plan on using, make sure I got new hooks on them. I retie knots, I restring rods if need be. If I'm using a spinning rod, I'll tie on a new leader line on it. So I run braid the leader. Excuse me. Also clean up my graphs, make sure I'm getting a good clean picture while I'm out there. Just, little things. Making sure, check the weather. If the weather's going to be cold, which is supposed to be cold in the morning, I'll check to make sure I got a couple pairs of gloves in case any get wet. I got another set. My rain suit, my cold weather gear, or what I like to call snivel gear. I've got an Onyx ice fishing suit. That's what I wear when it's cold out there. It's supposed to retain 97% of your body heat, so I like it. It works really well. A little heavy, but I'd rather be warm and a little heavy than cold and light, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, that's really about it. I just make sure I got everything that I need. I do an inventory of what I plan on fishing, anything that I might need to add to the boat, take it off the wall in the garage and add it to the boat. If you put forth the effort to get the small details taken care of before your tournament day starts, the day prior, or at least a day prior, if not 2 or 3 days prior. I didn't do it yesterday because it was raining real bad here in Tennessee, and I didn't feel like being outside in it. I could do it in the garage, but the wife kind of gets mad when I drain the live wells in the garage. So, but anyway, get all that, get everything checked and taken care of, and you'll have a good day on the water. It's less you got to worry about. All you got to worry about is tricking 5 good fish and a biting. Alright, I normally do one live well at a time. So I'll do the driver's side live well, then the passenger side live well. So while the passenger side's filling up, we'll check the driver's side. And we can't check the pump in because I'm not on the water. I'll check that in the morning. But I do turn it on to see if I can hear the pump run, and I do hear the pump run. So let's see. Let's start the recirc. And there it goes. Cayman's got no problem pushing water. In case anybody was wondering. So let's we're gonna call that working. Ouch. What I want to do is I'm gonna hit the timer. Make sure the timer works. So I'll close that while it's running. As I said, Cayman's, they put some pretty good pumps in the boat whenever they put it on. I think they're 800s or 1200s. So that pushes some water. You know, if you leave the lid open with a recirc running, it will spray you in the seat. So let it run and see if that timer kicks in like it's supposed to. And by that time, should be able to check the pump out. Which, I mean, the pump out's not absolutely necessary to have to work. I do like it. It's a good feature. I use it to fill my live well bags and whatnot. It is a good feature to have. If you don't have a pump out, you know, I suggest you put one in your boat if you can. Oh, there it went. It just turned off. We'll see if it turns back on. Yep. The recirc just turned off. And we'll wait to see if it comes back on. I've had some people ask me about my cull system. I pretty much made my own. I bought these a few years ago. They were the actual puncture kind, and then I bought the clips. I got them off of Amazon. I don't remember exactly what they're called, but they work really well. Put the two together, and then I run a string. A 550 core, because I don't like drilling into my boat to put anything in it. So to me, the string just works a little bit easier, you know. I'm funny that way. I don't want to drill holes in my boat. See if that kicks back on here in a minute. I can turn that off. Turn the water off to the passenger side. What kind of cull system do you use? You know, let me know. You use tags like this? Do you use the Bubba scale? I don't have the Bubba scale. That's a little too rich for my blood. I'm pretty skimpy when it comes to spending money on stuff like that. I still go old school and use the old balance beam. Physics works. It isn't gonna lie to you. Oh, there it is. Turn back on. All right. Turn the timer off. Turn the pump off. We'll check the pump out. Pump out works. Okay, there's that. Now let's check the port. Recirc's on. And the timer's turned on. We'll see if it cuts off. One thing I do try to do whenever I'm fishing like the BFLs is I'll clean out the box behind the passenger seat for my co-angler. That way he's got a spot to do, you know, put his tackle. It's not in the floor, it's not in my way, it's not in his way. And go from there. I like to keep a pretty clean boat. And I keep everything labeled. I try to stay as organized as possible while I'm on the water. It makes me more efficient. So I don't go all out with big label makers and all that. I use a black Sharpie and some painter's tape. That way I know what's in there. Just little tips and tricks for you. And timer just cut off on that one. Good to go. I'll wait and see if it comes back on. As you look, here's the reason why I do a lot of this. See that? Floating down in there, that come out of the line. So I want to make sure I clean the lines out and everything's clean and good to go before a tournament. So I'm not pumping that stuff in the fish, you know, letting the fish breathe, that kind of stuff. Just a good habit to get into. All right, well, the timer worked. It's up and running. Turn that off. And we can drain these, give them one last rinse, and that should be that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the water.